Congratulations, Mr. President Mahama. And I want to take this chance to thank you, to congratulate you for a beautiful speech that you gave on that day, on the 7th of January, about 2 days ago. It was beautiful, it was timely, it was much needed for the Ghanaian, for the African youth, for the leaders of the world, for the leaders of Africa. It was much needed. And if you look at Africa today, they look at what we do in our country. They follow our democracy. They respect what we do in our country. And they love us. They love our democracy, for which most of them would wish they have that. On that day, the 7th of January, it was one of those moments that I would wish it comes every day. You shook the world. And one thing that really touched me the most was when you invited Ibrahim Traore. And you can see there were many presidents on that day. There were many important, prominent people on that day. But then again, when the name of that young man was mentioned, the whole place erupted. Why? They love him. They see a man that wants nothing but for the best, but the best for his country. And I see that in you too. And I hope you succeed. And I hope the message that you have to reset Ghana, and I hope that message will be able to penetrate through all these African countries, because we need that. We need that unity. And I think you also invited Assimi Goita of Mali. But I don't know, I think for some reason he did not show up. But imagine if that man was also there. That would be the beginning of a change, a radical change of the way the world view Africa. And we thank you for doing this, to bring the message of unity. Because in Africa, we need one another. The youth are woke right now. I know your office, the job that you have right now, may not be an easy job. This 4 years is not going to be, we know. But then again, we would support you as much as we can. There's one thing that you said during the election. And I would like to pause here for a minute and talk about that. You talk about how horrible our economy was or is. How bad everything was under Akufo-Addo. I'm not here to bash Akufo-Addo, but you said one thing that was very, very critical. That was very, very crucial. That what? If you were the president under this horrible economy, the military would have taken over. The military would have taken over. Were you right? You were 100% right. They would have taken over. And we would have been the same as Burkina Faso. We have been the same as Mali. And you saw everything. For 8 years, you felt like the direction the country is going is not the best. And in your message, on the 7th of January during the inauguration, it made sense to be able to give a message that would include the youth of Ghana. That is where the problem is. And I hope that message, other African leaders will also use that to empower the youth. Because the youth today in Africa are woke. They're not voting for party. They're voting for a change in the country. That is well done, man. Was well received, Ibrahim Traore, because they saw what he's doing in his country today. And we thank you for bringing this man in. You said in your speech, your priority is to empower the youth and educate them, open doors for them to become entrepreneurs, to become leaders. And it was well received. And we pray that you succeed by moving this country forward, because the world is watching. Africa is watching. They rely on us. The only thing I would like to add to this, since you talk about youth a lot in your speech, there's one area that I felt watching from a distance. Let me pause for a minute. Anybody watching this video, please, you can do me a favor by following us on Facebook at Modibo TV or on YouTube at Modibo TV. There's one area, let me go back. There's one area that I felt like is continuing to destroy our youth, which is the sports gambling. I've been in the United States, I've been in Canada. I've never heard of that. But look at how the African youth today, they are lining up, betting their life away. That is one area. Since you talk about the youth, empower them, get them jobs. There's the agriculture, they can start from somewhere there. But because the way they waste their life watching soccer every day, betting their life away, we've seen how many people lose their life through sports gambling in Africa. We see many people lose their life savings through this my bet. I know you said you would take the taxes off my bet, Mr. President. It's a good thing, but it's not enough. That is not a solution that the African youth need. Sometimes we have to grab the bull by the horn and make some decisions, which is abolishing that my bet in its entirety. That's the only thing I would like you to do for the Africans, because it's the beginning of a change for them to start doing what? Resetting their mindset. So you said that. For them to stop looking for a short fix. That is not the solution. We need to abolish that my bet, that sports gambling in Africa, in Ghana, in its entirety. Just like I say, sometimes we have to grab the bull by the horn. Our bull in Ghana may not be that big compared to the other African countries, that of the Mali, but they were able to grab the bull by the horn by kicking France out of their country, by making their local language. Their language in that country has, number one, not French. The bull in Burkina Faso may be bigger than the one in Ghana, but they were able to grab the bull by the horn and kick France out of that country. Our bull may be small, may be tiny. We have to grab it by the horn and start making some radical decision, kicking those type of games out of our country, out of our continent. That is how we can begin to empower the youth and change their mindset. Look at the games they play. 7 days a week. Football. Kids are just sitting by the TV, glued to the TV, wasting their life. I remember when I was one of the presidential candidates, I said this before. That said what? He would abolish that. Please. I know it's too early in your office. This is like the second or the second day. So please, this is the favor I want from you. Please, I know you said you're going to take the taxes off my bet. Abolish it in its entirety. That is how you empower the youth. That is how you change their mindset to that of the entrepreneur. We want to thank you. We want to congratulate you. We want to make sure that we will continue talking about what is going in Africa so that people can also hear our voice. Congratulations, sir. You deserve it. And we want to salute you. Thank you, sir.